Welcome to Guru Trader video for Wednesday, December the 15th, 2010. Here's the 6 market movers that we're watching today. 2 news symbols, 4 follow-ups. All of these are on the TSX Venture Exchange, starting with news symbol CLD Cangold Limited, 10.5 cents up 2.5 cents. Another news symbol, BKT Brookemont Capital Inc., 21 cents up half a cent. And following up on SD, Sidon International Resources Corp., 19.5 up a penny. Following up on EAG, Eagle Hill Exploration Corp., 24 cents up 2. Following up on QEI Quetzal Energy Limited, 20.5 up a penny. And lastly, following up on NVS again, Novus Energy Inc., 101 up 11. Let's take a closer look at these stocks. Market's feeling a little bit spongy here, not surprising. A few days I expect the volume to dry up on a lot of these stocks going into Christmas. So personally, I'm not putting new positions on other than beaten up stocks where I've checked out the fundamentals thoroughly. But so these are more ones that I look at for possible trading, but maybe in January. So I just started looking at these. Their software picked them out, so I'll just pass them along. This is a new one, CLD Cangold Limited, 10.5 up 2.5, 31% move, 3 million shares traded out of 87 million shares outstanding, 9 million market cap. 52-week high was 8.5, which it did on yesterday. The low was 2.5 cents, which it did on November the 18th. So it's had a bit of a spike there. Now they put out, the reason I'm mentioning this one, what also caught my eye is, let me see, Cangold provides shareholder update, and they were focused, I believe, in Mexico, and they still have some focus there, and they mentioned Peru, but now they're looking for more advanced gold projects, and they bring up the, back in Canada, they're reviewing the possibility of a renewed exploration effort at its 100% owned Argosy gold mine in the Red Lake Mining District of Ontario. This was a Argosy gold mine closed in 1952 after producing 101,000 ounces of gold from, and they have all that information there you might want to look into. So it's an old mine that maybe wasn't economical at gold prices then, but perhaps is now, and they probably have to do some additional drilling. So that's something maybe to keep an eye on. And I think they have, like I mentioned, those other properties too. So let's see if there's any history on this stock. Yeah, going back 5 years to 2006 hasn't really been above 20 cents, and going back 10 years hasn't really been above 30 cents. So it just popped up today for one to keep an eye on, but like I said, this time of year, maybe this is one I'll look at in January. Anyway, this is another new one that came up today, Brookemont Capital Inc. First time looking at this one as well. 21 up half a cent, 2% move, 5 million shares traded. That seems significant. Only 26 million shares outstanding, 5.5 million market cap. The 52-week high was 24 cents, which it did on December the 8th. The low was a nickel, which it did on July the 9th. So it had a run up here from a nickel to 20 cents, pulled back to a dime, and we're right back at that 20 cent level. Now, it's up on... Today they put out news. This is what caught our eye. They received final approval on Handinay North prospect bordering Canacol Resources Inc. in Tanzania. Now Canacol we've mentioned several times since the spring. I think we first mentioned them at like around $1.07. Check our last video. I think we mentioned Canacol at around 6. It's pulled back a little bit. But they've had good results, and they mentioned in here Brookmont's properties contiguous to Canacol Resources, which recently reported drill intercepts of 48.6 meters of 14.81 grams per ton gold, and that was on December the 6th. So it's a closiology play, and they mentioned other properties which also seem to be closiology play. Brookmont currently has the following projects: A, quartz mine claims in the Yukon bordering Underworld, which was recently taken over by Kinross. B, mineral claim blocks in the Stewart mining region of BC bordering Can-Asia Industry Corporation's Clone Prospect. C, mineral claims prospective for lithium in northern Ontario. D, land in northeastern Quebec, prospective for rare earth elements in close proximity to Edor. Edor RE, prospective Commerce Resources, and E, 63 square kilometers of land in Tanzania bordering Canacol. So that's probably their focus. You're looking for companies that are going to be active next year, so these ones are popping up, so maybe they deserve further look. Not much history here. Looks like the company's been around since 2009. Stock really hasn't done anything. This is about the highest level that it's been at since then. So we'll keep an eye on that one. SD, Sidon International Resources, 19.5 up a penny. This one's been active lately, but haven't mentioned it. It's actually pulled back a little bit now. It reached its 52-week high, was 26.5 cents, which it did on December the 7th. So it's back under 20 cents again. The low on this was March 18th at 3 cents. So it's had a nice build throughout most of the year. We first mentioned Sidon. Let's see here. This is our fourth post since 4.5 cents on March 22nd, and our last post was at 8 cents on April the 30th. So 19.5 now, and they put out news yesterday. Sidon's Handinay optioner gets granted master license for Handinay property north of Canaco. So there's two close-geology plays possibly on Canaco's property. So moving on, we'll keep an eye on that one, continue to. EAG, this is another one we've mentioned before. EAG, this is our sixth post since March the 10th at 35 cents. Our last post was on May 22nd at 23 cents. Now this one has not actually done very well for us. We mentioned it on the way up here, and it's pretty well gave back most of it, and it's been sitting at around 20 cents for most of the summer. So what did I say? The 52-week high was March 17th at 62, and the low was 13 cents on March the 2nd. So but they put out news today, which does look interesting. Eagle Hill intersects near-surface high-grade gold at Windfall Lake, including 18.82 grams over 9.9 meters and 53.64 grams over 4.5 meters, and that's in Windfall Lake, which is in Quebec. Caribou Zone, they talk about, let me see here. Let me skip down to their About section. Windfall Lake properties comprise of 362 contiguous claims over 12,000 hectares in the Abitibi mineralized belt of northern Quebec. Area between Val d'Or and Chibougamau is known for its gold and copper production, excellent infrastructure for exploring and mining. Historically, Windfall Lake properties had extensive grassroots exploration along with its independently acquired claims. At the Windfall Lake property, Eagle Hill has signed options with Merger Resources, Cliffs Natural Resources, formerly Free West Resources Canada, and Noront Resources to acquire the Windfall Lake property. So that's what they're working on. Looking at the 5-year chart, stock's been around since 2008, up to 40, back down to about a little over a dime, and then had that big pop this year, and it's back here. But if you draw a line under that, they're still sort of on trend. They kind of broke here, but back to 25 cents. You know, there's still a build there. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that one. And QEI Quetzal Energy Limited, 20.5 up a penny, 5% move, 7.5 million shares out of 323 million. A little bit bloated here, but anyway, 66 million market cap. The 52-week high was 25.5, which did on November the 1st, right here. So it's had a bit of a pullback. Still, that's a good build. The low was 12 cents on March 15th. Somewhat erratic chart, but anyway, they're another one of these oil plays that are focused in Colombia. They announced November 22nd, Quetzal Energy tests 2,225 barrels of oil production from the Lower Morada Reservoir, the Canique #1 well in Colombia. So look into that. Those oil releases tend to be very technical, but they're in the right area. They're in elephant country, and if you're looking for an energy play, there's one to maybe do some homework on. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that one. And that one, let me see here. This is our third post since 18.5 cents since March 31st, so it hasn't really done anything for us. And lastly, NVS Novus Energy Inc. 101 up 11, 12% move, 7 million shares traded out of 166 million. Market cap's 168, and the 52-week high is $1.20, which it did on April 23rd. Pulled back down under $1 here, kind of sat there at 80 cents for most of the summer, and it's been kind of bouncing out since then. Now they put out news. December the 6th, the Novus Energy Inc. announces results of its contingent resource assessment for its Viking light oil asset in the Dodsland area of Saskatchewan. I think they're doing frack. Not sure. Viking light oil assets. Talk about their working interests, and they mention their partners in here. Somewhat technical. You should read this over. Novus Energy is a well-positioned junior oil and gas company with a proven management team committed to aggressive costs. Okay. Netback light oil reserves and production. Novus intends to continue its strategy of growth through a targeted acquisition and consolidation strategy coupled with development and exploration drilling. Talks about their credit. I'd look into all that. There's a lot of information to digest on there, but if there's another oil play that, if it's back through 110 here, technically I like this stock, especially if it can get through that 120 on volume, and this is unusually high volume, so I'd like to see if there's any follow-up on that one going into the new year. So that's about it for today. I expect things to go quiet over the next few days. Not sure if I'll even bother putting out a video next week, but that's about it for today. Do your homework, trade safely, and we'll talk with you soon. Guru Trader videos and tweets are daily snapshots of 5 to 7 very active small and microcap stocks from all North American stock exchanges. We simply track stocks that are trading up significantly on news or making new highs on very high volume without any further consideration of company fundamentals. The point is to save time by focusing on only those stocks that are moving right now. Guru Trader symbols come from filtering market movers and from subjective observations. Our software cross-references today's volume actives, percent gainers, and dollar gainers, which are filtered down to just lower-priced stocks. We then look at each stock's charts for apparent uptrends, and news headlines for obvious one-day-only events to exclude, like a buyout, or for longer-term growth-related news like financials, drill results, patent approvals, etc. to include. This is similar to how many traders look for new stocks as a starting point for further research with their financial and investment advisors. This is not an advisory service, and conflicts may exist as we sometimes take positions, or featured stocks may have bought online advertising or IR support services. Any content published by Investors Guru Small Cap Stock Observer is subject to the terms of our privacy policy and disclaimer at investorsguru.com. For our other small cap stock channels, follow Twitter's Guru Trader tweet in real time on your PC or mobile device at twitter.com/investorsguru. Subscribe to watch YouTube's Investors Guru video channel at youtube.com/investorsguru. Search Investors Guru at facebook.com and add us as a friend to see our videos, tweets, etc. that are all synced to post on our wall. It's free to sign up at investorsguru.com stock community for comprehensive quotes, newsletters, profiles, forums, etc., or to update your portfolio, watch list, alerts, and news by email preferences. Thanks for watching.